Hello guys, NautoAisDx once again, and this is gonna be another my vlog for the pre-E3 2015 special. Basically, this one I wanna give my thoughts on Nintendo's latest financial report, and apparently it is good news, not like last year, which is bad news because they lost, well, $500 million. So I'm gonna give my thoughts about it, but before that, I wanna clarify one thing and an update on another thing. First of all, I want to clarify about my thoughts on the backwards compatibility on console. And like I said, most of the thing I talked about is rumor, so I'll try to piece what's rumor and what's facts. So first of all, the Atari system, the 5200 and the 7400, that's actually facts. They are backwards compatible. So, I mean, you can play the old games, they're exactly the same. Another one that's a fact is the Sega Master system. It does play SG-1000, and like I said, I did a showcase on that one. It is compatible with the Master system, and I think it's via card. That's just like a card slot on the Sega Master. And then on the Sega Genesis, it's also a fact that the Master Converter basically use that device, you put it in the Genesis, enable you to play the Sega Master System. And also, another thing that I did forget to mention this on my backwards compatibility video is that even if you have the 32X, you put it on top of the Genesis, you can actually put the Master Converter on the 32X slot, the 32X device add-on. So yeah, so that's a fact there. And then, like I said, with the Sega Saturn, this rumor basically is a rumor. The rumor's been defunct. Basically, is that yes, at one point they were thinking about it, but they just said, let's just forget about it because whatsoever reason. So yeah, it's a rumor. But it's just never been, I think it was defunct that, we know it's not back compatible, and it was defunct that they were, but the point is that they weren't really considering it putting back compatibility. Same goes with Dreamcast, so yeah. So, I mean, even though it is a rumor, to some extent, both back, like, considering putting back some compatibility with the Sega Saturn and the Sega Saturn and the Sega Dreamcast, yeah, they've been defunct. Right. In the case with the Super Nintendo, same deal. The rumor is did defunct. Like I said, at one point they did say, let's consider it, but in the long run, they just said, nah, forget about it. Let's just do it. Let's just connect. We'll have a solution to connect it to one slot in the back of the TV. So yeah, so basically the rumor was defunct. That's defunct. Excuse the language. Debunked. That's what I'm trying to say. It was also debunked that they were planning to do it, but they never did, and it never really been in the records. And same goes with the N64. So basically what I'm trying to say here is that except for one, but I'm going to say if that include the N64, but the point that I'm trying to say here again, excuse me, is if you never heard of the report that they were considering putting it, a rumor that they're going to do back to compatibility, chances are the rumor is debunked. That means someone think about it and they just said, no, it's off the record. That's what it is. Except for one, which is the GameCube. That actually rumor was actually, to some extent, was for truth. That it almost came to fruition, but they just said forget about it, which is the GameCube. When in their website, there was a survey there and they asked fans, would you want to be able to play N64 game on the GameCube system by doing peripheral? And there was a survey about it. I think I heard most people said yes, but in the end of the day, after evaluating for the business for the GameCube, and of course they're moving to the Wii, what's gonna happen is they just said, you know what, let's just scrap the idea and let's just move on to the Wii. So basically that rumor, even though there's a rumor, that one actually was proven that publicly in fact, that in history and record, yeah, they were considering it. The previous system, they were considering it as a rumor, but it's never been publicized to the public or never been made public, so that's why it was debunked. So yeah, so that's basically what I'm trying to say. So most of the time, if you don't think they were considered like the Super Nintendo, the Sega Saturn, etc., backwards compatibility, chances are they were thinking about it, but it never was on the record. It was off the record, except for the GameCube was the only one that was on the record, and they just said they scrapped the idea. Alright, so that's my clarification about backwards compatibility. Hope that helps. I'll also put it in the description box about trying to explain it more. Okay, another one is basically an update. So, when I did mention about that there was a rumor that Nintendo rented a theater in the month of June, now we found out what it's for. It's Nintendo's business financial meeting. Yes, so you got two, and they've done this before. I think 2013 they've done this. There's two types of presentation. There's the digital event that's for the general consumer, Nintendo fans, and people who just care about gaming, not the business side. And it's also called the business. They call it the business plan presentation, which is for the business. If you want to know the business side of Nintendo, what they're gonna do, basically that's where like the upper management, the upper higher ups from GameStop, Target, Toys R Us, you name it, who sells video games, they're probably gonna go on that one, and that's what the theater is for. Kind of forgot about it, but I guess that's what it is. So yeah, so unfortunately there's no live presentation once again. I guess the closest one is the Treehouse at E3, the streaming special presentation. And for the, once again, for the small theater that they rented, it was for the business. So those are the clarification / update of what's going on. In the next episode, I'll be talking about my thoughts on the Nintendo Financial Report. Hello guys, NautoAisDx once again, and this is going to be another MMV blog, MMGSV blog. This time I'll be giving my thoughts on Nintendo's end of the year financial result briefing, which is basically their fiscal year. And this time it's actually good than last year. And if you don't know what happened, I'll give you the gist of it. Is that last year Nintendo lost $500 million because of poor decision, poor marketing, the direction the company was going, it just wasn't really beneficial. And one of the biggest complaints they said was because of the Wii U, because they had to do a premature markdown, which is from making the deluxe from $350 to $300. And originally they weren't gonna do it, but they had to do it, and they were losing a lot of money. So is it different this time? And the answer is now yes. I'm hearing report that it's actually much better now. So what you're looking at right now is their outline of what's happening with the financial result for the fiscal year of March, or the fiscal year of 2015. That's what I'm trying to say. And basically it started with April 2014 to March 2015. That's they call it the 2015 fiscal year. So alright, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to read the presentation here first. Well, let's see. First of all, they said, okay, they're talking about they're going to give their financials of what's happening. So the first thing they said was operating income back into the black for the first time in 4 fiscal years. Yes, because for technically 4 years they were losing money. Again, because of the Wii U, and for a while in the beginning, the 3DS, they were overpricing it to some extent. And remember when I was the original 3DS, not even within 5 months, they had to do a price drop because of the PlayStation Vita. They were selling also with 250 with, well, better power. So which one you gonna choose? So they had no choice but to do a premature price cut, and because of that, for a year, a lot of the higher ranks in the executive, they did have to do they had to do a pay cut in their salary, and they kind of did it also with the Wii U. So, but now they're saying now that finally, after 4 years, they finally are in the black. They're making money. So basically, they're saying also. So again, one of the questions probably you're gonna think is, what are the games that sold? Well, of course, for the 3DS, for the handheld gaming, apparently, according to them, was The Legend of Zelda and Monster Hunter 4 basically made some sale. And also the reason is they made a simultaneously release in both US and Europe. And so again, that's a good thing, worldwide release there. So they're saying a lot of good launches, games for the Nintendo 3DS. And let's see. Yeah, according to them. Alright, so yeah, they're showing some pie graph chart. Basically, just saying is that the 3Ds actually were selling some games. So let's just say that. And of course, in Japan, they also had Girl Mode, aka Trend Center Style Suave. I mean, it's a fun game. I played it. Don't judge me. And another one is the latest Rhythm Heaven game. But unfortunately, are those games gonna come in America? Maybe. Hopefully. But the problem is, they don't really sell high in America. Like, I bought Rhythm Heaven like at $5, the one for the Wii, and the 3DS version of Style Savvy, I got it for 12 bucks. So if you think about it, then yeah, it doesn't sell well. Excuse me. And then they're saying this one out there, they're aiming for future popularization in high potential overseas market. So of course the new 3DS XL, they're saying, because I mean, even so they didn't release the new 3DS, the smaller one with the faceplate change, people still were buying the new 3DS XL, and it sells, so that's a good thing. Alright, let's see the next page here. Okay, not just relying on the new title, but making use of the great variety of the evergreen titles. Evergreen titles. I kind of mentioned this with Ari's article, how Nintendo gets too expensive. Basically, is what they're saying. So let's read this particular paragraph here about the evergreen titles. In the video game platform business, although people tend to focus on the huge spike of sale immediately after a game release, looking back at the history of Nintendo's handheld game system, not only does hardware sell well with new titles, but our system also tends to sell well paired with big titles that have become evergreen. This test is strongest in the overseas market, and we will aim to expand our hardware by promoting new titles as well as retaining the energy of abundant evergreen titles, which are not new on the market but maintain constant sale. And in other words is, yeah, they're popular, they sold more than $1 million, or a million copies, excuse me. But the bottom line is, we're not going to do a Nintendo Select or a player choice, no greatest hit, we're not going to do price drop just because it sold well. And again, that's what the evergreen title is. There's two reasons why it exists. Most common is basically is you don't have third party support, so how are you going to make your money? So you have to rely on your first party, and it doesn't really make sense to lower it down if you don't have third party support for money, for profit. So that's why he's making up this evergreen. Kind of BS, but again, Nintendo, it's only Nintendo that get away with it because the games are good. Again, I have to admit, no matter what, to compare to any other game, Nintendo games tend to always sell no matter what. And the second reason is, again, the reputation of the game. Oh, well, you lower the price, so does that mean it's not good anymore? Not necessarily true, but again, they don't believe on the platinum hit, the greatest hit. They don't embrace the Nintendo Select. That's why they're using the evergreen strategy, which is basically making games that are not new, but hey, it's still popular. And excuse me for this language, but they do a dick part after this. At the minute that the game doesn't sell anymore, instead of making more and selling at a lower price, they're just gonna say, you know what, we're gonna discontinue it. I.e., Kid Icarus pricing, you can't see it anymore. Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, Star Fox 3D, Wii Sports Club, because they don't want to put a player choice. And that's not my own. That's one of my gripe why I don't like to some extent Iwata as CEO. But that'll be a different story. So again, I don't really agree with it, but to some extent their games are good. What can you do about it? So of course the game that they're gonna show that's really popular. Let's look at here. Mario Kart 7. Of course the Mario game, Animal Crossing, Pokemon, Smash Brother, Tamagotchi's Life, and of course more Pokemon. And if you know this game, they're between $30 to $40. Are they gonna ever lower the price? Maybe $30 stops, but yeah, they're not gonna do anymore. They don't do Player Select or Nintendo Select or Player Choice, what I call it, a greatest hit. They don't do it anymore. That's what, like I said, their new strategy is the evergreen titles. Kind of dickish move, but business is business. You gotta make money somehow. So promoting popular, promoting the popularization of multiplayer gameplay overseas. Okay, online, whatever. So what about Wii U? Well, Wii U is maintaining momentum even after the new year. Well, basically the thing is really the gist of it is we even sold. So Mario Kart 8 is out, Smash Brother for the Wii U is out, so they didn't move Wii U. I have said this before to some extent, yes, but however, it barely moved Wii U. Yeah, there were people who were actually buying games Wii U for Mario Kart 8 and Super Smash Brother for the Wii U. But here's the question: what if Mario Kart 8 didn't have the free game? What if Super Smash Brother for the Wii U didn't have the freebies? You just bought the game, there was nothing, there's no special, no free Mewtwo, no CD. Would you still buy the game? Would you buy a Wii U just for this game? Well, we'll never know because they didn't go that direction. But yes, so to some extent Wii U did move, but not so much. People who had Wii U, like including myself, yeah, we're gonna buy the game because it's already good. But for people saying, well, should I buy Wii U for Smash Brother or Mario Kart 8? Chances are, nope, not some. I know some, like one guy I'm gonna always call, one guy I always know, I said his name before, Big L 2K6 or Big L Update. He did buy a Wii U so he can play Nintendo games. He loves Nintendo, just like me. But he bought a Wii U just for that. So he's one person, maybe there's some. But again, he did move, but not so much. And of course, they're also now announcing more DLC for Mario Kart 8 from what I heard. These are the second DLC and 200cc, yeah, they're fast. Different story there. I get the Mewtwo DLC, and then on June, Lucas is gonna make an appearance. Okay, hopefully there'll be more news about it on E3, but we'll see. Alright, let's see. Of course, they're now saying also more games coming out by March 31st, 2016, which is the fiscal year for 2016, like Woolly World, Splatoon, Xenoblade, X Chronicle, Mario Maker, Star Fox, Project Giant Robot, there's the new Fire Emblem If, Rodario Sky Soldier, Dragon Quest 10, the MMORPG, Lego's Marvel Avengers, which I really never heard of, and Lego Jurassic Park. So again, more games, good. So again, here's the thing what people always say, oh, Nintendo, wait, we talking about Nintendo has no game, blah 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 blah. No. When people, that's only in 2013 when, yes, Nintendo didn't really have any games. Third party wasn't making games for the Wii U. Nintendo just barely realized that making games in HD was difficult, that's why it took longer than they thought. That's what it was. But now, when people say there's no games on the Wii U, it basically just means it doesn't have any variety. You go to Nintendo to play a Nintendo game. You're not going to play third-party games on the Wii U. And he said, well, that's fine. Yeah, in the perspective of business, that's bad. In the perspective of a gamer, hey, who cares? But the problem is, in the perspective of business, not everyone's doing that anymore. Remember, Alex did mention this on one of my podcast ramble response, that he did say not everyone was doing it anymore. It's becoming less than the Wii. And in the perspective of business, that's money being missed opportunity. So that's a problem. And okay, I'm gonna read this paragraph here that I just saw. Again, another one is another the evergreen title, Iwata strategy. So like, good games, keep it at full price even if they're old. We are trying to motivate our consumer to continually play the game that have been purchased and play emphasis on ability to keep a high replay value even after time has passed since the release by adding new functionality via software update or a digital offering new add-ons such as a new character or new courses. This is important for maintaining and performing a momentum of evergreen titles and furthering extending their lifespan. Normally DLC, so you don't return your game. But the point is, again, Iwata, evergreen title, they need to go down. Nintendo Select, greatest hit. You gotta. Alright, so, and now here's the best part. My favorite part. Amiibo. Oh boy, once again. So apparently Amiibo is more popular in, believe it or not, in the US and in Canada. And of course, I've been talking about Amiibo. I do apologize if some people don't like it. I kinda like it. Just, I just want to talk about it. So sorry, but the point is that if you notice, 66% of all sales shipment goes to US and Canada. Again, the reason why there's not enough Amiibo. Again, there could be the ship strike, the horse strike, truck strike. Again, not enough, too much demand. The American markets could be big for Nintendo to handle. I don't know. There's a lot of factors about it, but they are trying to work on it. So apparently everybody knows approximately 10.5 million units shipped worldwide. I would like to collect all of them if I can, but that'll be a long journey there. So, okay, I'm gonna read this paragraphs here about Amiibos. So, right here, we launched a new product category, Amiibo, simultaneously with Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U, and the end of the subject fiscal term marked a total shipment of approximately 10.5 million units worldwide. As we had shipped approximately 5.7 million units by the end of the calendar year 2014, it is safe to say that we achieved a very strong growth even in the period immediately after the end-year sales season was over. Our assessment is that people purchase additional Amiibo figure without any seasonal bias as they're relatively affordable than video game title. Well, yeah, because people are buying them one or two, not like a video game. You don't buy two video games, one to open, one to keep. That doesn't always work. It's different. For toys, sometimes you buy two, one to open to play, and one to keep in the box to either trade, sell, make money out of it. That's the thing. That's why 2 per limit. Again, the problem is, scalpers. Like I said in my previous Amiibo, scalpers also was a factor. They were buying multiple. That's why thank goodness retailer not doing limits. So again, they are popular. They are a Beanie Baby, and maybe in the long run I'll talk more in depth about the Amiibo, why this is happening, especially in the US. But because, like I said, it's $13. If you're a rich bastard, hey, you can buy them all. And again, most people don't even use them. They just keep them in the box and collect them. That's how it goes. So our consumer had been inconvenienced by stock shortage on some of the figure in our Amiibo lineup. The Holy Trinity, Mart, Villager, and Wii Fit Trainer, retail exclusive were hard to get, and etc, etc. We have increased production of Amiibo figures that have sold out very quickly after launch that are indispensable to play a certain game, for which we have received strong demand from retailers and consumer. That's good. However, we are very sorry that we can't promise at what point we will likely to be able to solve the current situation, because figures such as these require a considerable amount of time to produce produce, store shelf space is limited, and it is difficult to precisely predict the exact amount of overall demand. Basically, I said this before, Nintendo pays for shelf. So you gotta put the right one that's to capitalize sales. And what they want when you put an amiibo there, they're gone. They don't want to put amiibo though, and it's still there like a year after that. That's bad. When an item has to be put on clearance, that means they're cutting their losses because they're just trying to get rid of it. Again, good for the consumer, bad for the business. On the other hand, the number of software titles compatible with Amiibo is decreasing, and consumer recognition and understanding for Amiibo has improved slightly compared to the launch period, so we believe that we can predict future sale growth. So I mean, it's good that they're fixing the problem, but it's still not enough because they have said, hey, we're working on it, but we can't guarantee it because because still the hype. The Amiibo is still hype. That's the thing. So that's about Amiibo, and of course there's going to be new Amiibo such as cards from Animal Crossing Home Decoration and Yoshi's Woolly World with the stuffed Yoshi. And finally, if you don't have a new 3DS XL, they're finally going to release the hockey puck. You use the hockey puck for it. Unfortunately, you have to wait until fall for it, so whatever. But again, at least they're fixing the problem with Amiibo, so that's good. But it's still, I know it's still not enough, but again, like I said, just have patience. It will eventually die down. Alright, then of course they're talking about digital release. Great. Again, I don't mind digital versus physical. If the digital is cheaper, I'll get it. If I need a storage hard drive, then I'll just buy an external hard drive for Nintendo. I'm not stealing that point, so that's why. But the point is, that's fine. My only gripe is, if the digital game, you gotta lower it down a bit. I know that's not that easy to do because you need to have a good relationship with your retailer, because when they say, oh wow, digital is $5 off versus physical, just give us a code, we're not gonna sell the disc. But you gotta keep in mind, there are still people who prefer physical copy, like myself. So, again, that's good. So now they're also talking about smart devices, which is finally Nintendo's going to this mobile game. Basically, the gist of it is, I don't have to talk about it, is by fiscal year of 2017, there will be at least 5 Nintendo mobile games. And they're not going to talk about it on the E3, it's going to be in the long run. So my theory, my guess is they're going to talk about more Wii U and 3DS, which is good, and hopefully that the Nintendo account, the new one, I want to know about it. So, okay, so again, as long as they make money, that's a good thing, even with mobile gaming. Alright, the next part here, and if you've seen this before, that's what they're fixing, their new Nintendo account. Basically, it's the PSN and the Xbox Live. So Nintendo, that's finally great, you're finally fixing it. Oh, by the way, welcome to 2004. Yes, Microsoft has been doing this with the original Xbox. Alright, so, and then basically more talk about the account, the membership account. So it's gonna be better. It's gonna be better than Club Nintendo. We'll see, hopefully. And then the last part, Universal Studio Nintendo making Nintendo Land becoming fruition. Okay, that's interesting. I'm too old for theme parks, but maybe I'll check it once in a while. We'll see what happens. But again, that's gonna be interesting. So that's basically the financial report. Again, it is good, they're making money. It is good, Nintendo Wii U is moving to some extent, and they're finally fixing the problem with Amiibo. My only tip is just keep pumping them out as best you can. Don't stop and say, oh, we're done with this one, and like people couldn't get it. Like, what the hey? So, and again, they're finally fixing their new membership. Hopefully, it's gonna be Xbox Live or PSN, like games attached to account. And hopefully, Alex will be happy because the gist of it is he made a rant how he lost $200 of 3DS games because he didn't do the system transfer. And what happened was that he sold the old one first before even transferring the stuff to the new one, and he just got his losses. Maybe not so much, we'll see. So, okay, I'm gonna click here. There's a Q&A section, and there are some interesting one here. Some interesting ones. So, okay, there are 3 pages, but let's see. Let's see what the interesting ones. Nintendo like profit, whatever the heck that means. It's basically they want money. That's it. Because remember, they lost a lot of money. Let's see. Question number 2. Okay, don't really care. Oh, question number 3. Okay, DNA and Universal Studio. Again, the reason is for DNA, better account, so more people have confidence with Nintendo buying games digitally, of course. And second is Nintendo Universal Park to get more exposure, like kind of like what I'm doing with the Gaming Portal Hub, which is promoting the channel that I believe in that needs exposure. That's what they're doing. One of the problem is they never really done the lack of exposure what's out to skill Nintendo. Now they're being more open, so that's great. Wow, we talked a lot about the Universal Studio. Let's see. Alright, NX. DNA. Let's see. 3DS, 4K. Maybe I can't find that one. Ah, here it is. Question number 7. When you are asked if you like, if you were asked if you would lift the region lock at the financial result briefing 6 months ago, you answered that you would take it into consideration. Please explain the current situation. My understanding is that it's not realistic on existing video game system because unlocking them after they are already on the market poses a number of hurdles. I'm sorry, BS. Sorry, Wada, that is BS. It is a possibility with a VIA firm update, a system update. It is a possibility. All you have to do is unlock some coding, make them read different coding. So I'm sorry, that's kind of like BS. They just don't want to do it. Because again, the problem with Iwata and the reason why people want him off, step down, was he still believes in region lock because he thinks region free that's a benefit, which you're right, in the old days it wasn't, because you can hurt sales. It can hurt the sales like in one state to another. But that's all. Not a lot of people do import. I don't do import to some extent. So that's kind of like a BS there. I'm sorry, Wada. I mean, you're changing, you're adapting, but the region thing, you gotta consider it, especially with the Wii U and the 3DS. That is, I'm sorry, still BS. That's BS there. On the other hand, regarding NX, we understand that many consumers hold such opinion and such suggest existing in the market, and also we have nothing concrete at the moment. We are internally analyzing what hurdle exists to lifting region lock. That is the situation right now. We acknowledge your request, and I personally want to give it a positive consideration. This is the same thing as smartphone game, because the investors basically pressured Iwata to say, you gotta make it for smartphone. It's popular. Why are you not doing it? So finally, he bent down and he did it. Now they're also saying the same thing with region lock, because people were saying, well, region free. Well, PS4's region free, Xbox One's region free. Why not your system? So the deal is, if the Nintendo NX, Project NX, is not region free, Iwata, you're an idiot. 2017 region lock, really, you're gonna be an idiot. I'm just saying it out there. So make it region free. Don't be stupid. Alright, then let's see, universal, whatever, again, exposure, alright, well, anyway, there it is, there you have it. So, let's see what else, oh, yep, and, yep, bunch of sales number, but the bottom line is, they made sales, that's the point. So there you have it. That's my thoughts on the recent financial report for the fiscal year of 2015. It is a good start what they're doing, and basically they're back in the black. They're not losing money anymore, so that's great. And again, the reason is good business decision with Mario Kart 8, with Smash Bros. For the Wii U by offering free stuff. still lowering. Still, the $300 is good enough, and the amiibo. And going to mobile, that's gonna now more people getting exposure for Nintendo. That's great, and of course the amiibo. Even so, then the amiibo is not really connecting to the Wii U because, like I said, not a lot of people were buying amiibo to use it. I do, but not a lot of people do. 70 to 80% of people who buy amiibo, they just keep it in the box because it's a good collector. It's a collectible thing. That's really what it is. So now, I'm gonna end this, close this by saying, what do I think of Iwata as of right now? Should he still be president of Nintendo or should he step down? My opinion about Iwata is, I think 1 or 2 more years for him. That's what I'm gonna say. That I think at least now within 2, maybe 3 years. If it, I don't know, but I'm gonna say 2 years. No offense, Iwata should step down. 1, he's getting too old. Smart he may be, he's finally adapting, but he's still generation. Still not enough. He's still stuck in the past to some extent. Like, look at what he's talking about region free. Like he's still, well, let's talk about region free. I don't know. It's like he's still in that iffy, and then he doesn't even embrace the Nintendo Select program. So they want you to buy games at full price, even if they're like 3 or 4 already old, even if they already sold over 1 million. I mean, that's not Sony, but that's the strategy with Sony and Microsoft. So more people will buy PS3 or PS3 and 360 because of those programs. So $20 game, I can get this when I finally get this console. But he is also adapting. They did mention it before about when he said about my DNA and Nintendo. I did say that he is finally adapting. He finally said, fine, we'll put Nintendo games on mobile, whether you like it or not, as long as they make money. And he's finally admitting, yeah, I done goof with the Wii U. So, again, that's basically awesome there. He is changing. Okay, it's a lot of tidbit also I want to talk about here. Because I was watching one of Miles 923 video. He was playing a Japanese version of Xenoblade X Chronicles. I think that's the game. I'll buy the American version, but the guy loves those games. And he basically talked about critical about the Wii U and the GameCube. And yeah, I can agree with Miles 923 or Maximilian dude. I do agree. And again, I'm gonna reiterate about the story about the GameCube. The GameCube is a good system. It's more powerful than the PS2. Not so much with the Xbox, but with the PS2. But the thing is, the reason why the sales wasn't there, or the lack of sale, is that at launch, not a lot of people bought the Wii U, or the GameCube, excuse me. Not a lot of people bought the GameCube at launch. They had a target, like how much they're gonna sell the GameCube at launch, and that failed. Not a lot of people were buying GameCube to play Nintendo games. People were buying PS2 because it had a lot of games, plus it could play DVD. The GameCube have this small disc, their own proprietary medium, and not a lot of games. That's the thing. I mean, people were buying for Melee, but again, that's not enough. That's the thing. Yeah, I mean, Iwata did some good things with the GameCube, but the bottom line is, the GameCube didn't make them a lot of money. That's the thing. A lot of third-party game basically left the GameCube. They weren't even supporting GameCube. And in order to have support for the GameCube, Nintendo had to make some exclusive deal, like in EA, by putting in Mario characters on EA Sports game. Some boxer, not Lil Mac, a blonde Lil Mac, whatever you call it, for the Super Punch-Out, they put him in that one Fight Night Round 4. And Mortal Kombat, they put Shao Kahn and Goro in Deception for the GameCube version. Plus, they made some deal for, like in Sega, the Sega Gem Collection. They paid Sega a lot of money to make it exclusive for the GameCube in America. And not only that, they basically dumb it down because they want to make it an E rating. They got rid of Street of Rage or Bare Knuckles. But the good thing is, if you have a PS3 and the Xbox 360, you can get the Sonic Genesis collection, and all of those are there. And if you want to play Sega Fighter or Sega CD, hey, you can download it for $5 on the PSN or the Xbox Live Arcade store. So, I mean, it rectified itself, funny. But the bottom line is, Nintendo had to do whatever it takes for the GameCube. That's why it wasn't, that's what Max said. It wasn't, you think, it may be a good system, people bought them. I bought a GameCube because I'm a Nintendo fan, but to some extent, it didn't really make them a lot of profit. That's what Max was trying to say. Like I said, the Wii was an anomaly because they got a new audience, casual, the people who never been in games say, oh, I can play a game by just swinging a remote. There you go. But what happened is, they trying to do strategy with the Wii U. The hardcore gamer with the GameCube style, and the casual with the Wii style, that didn't work. It basically flopped. They couldn't make a lot of games. They didn't realize the game was hard. Third party was saying, wow, people are not, they're doing what the GameCube is. It's a GameCube 2.0. That's what people are saying. I'm sorry. I love Nintendo. That's why I do a lot of Nintendo in my Mega Mix Game Showcase. But again, as like Max said, Alex said it, when someone's critical, they want the company to support. And that's what we're trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. So again, I'm sorry if it hurts when you want to hear about the GameCube, but that's the facts. The GameCube didn't sell well. They did a rapid price drop. Within a year, it price dropped with $50. And then by the next year, another $50. That's the thing. Should Nintendo Wii U do a price drop? Well, to tell you, they should already be doing it for a long time, but I think at least by fall, they should do another price drop. Make the Wii U at $250. Because again, the value of $300, at least you get 2 games, that's not working anymore. People are not buying Wii because of that. They rather buy, look at the Xbox One, $350, and now you can buy $350 with games. The PS4, $400 with The Last of Us, but I think it should also go down with price. But I'll be talking about that in a later vlog, because like I said, hint hint, I'm already working on my what I want to see for the big 3. So anyway, so that's my thoughts about their fiscal year result for the fiscal year of 2015. Again, it is a good showing. It's a good, finally they're back in the game. They're back in the black. Let's see if they can hold on to with the Wii U and the 3DS, because I have a feeling that they really want to bring that Project NX system as soon as possible. But of course, you gotta give that 5 year, but if you don't, you're gonna be pissing a lot of people off, excuse the language. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts about it, and thanks for listening. So with that, that's it for now. I'll see you guys later. Bye.